Do you
Achin
have it
lefi
now?
divrei Chazal.
What's that? Say that again?
Achin lefi divrei Chazal.
Okay. V'achalal ha'korah. So he's like being mispal. He's turning to the korah ha'noim. Like I was saying, a lot of sifrei halacha that come out today uh, put a disclaimer in. Please don't paskin, and ask your rav. But Chavetz Chaim doesn't take that line at all. He's very strong here. He says, after you find something that doesn't look right at first glance, in Be'etzim Adin, Kiyoma Shuchuma Ba'alma, you'll say, whether if it's about the halacha that I wrote, that you'll say, it looks like it's just a chumrah, or Arichas haLashon lo yitzarech, or Kitzur haLashon, or perhaps you'll say, he's talking too much. It was Mayrich, or he's writing too short. He says, don't be quick to say I made a mistake. Until you really look into good. The Be'er Chaim is like on the bottom of the Sefer where he brings all his sources. So learn that really well. And do all the klolim. The nest for that halacha. Says if you're missing even one part of the klal, you're not going to understand the rest of the halacha correctly. Says Chavetz Chaim, on every sif of this sefer, I was ma'ayin a lot. I put in a lot of time, and I did it with others. And I searched and searched again. Really going on the line, out on the line. So I searched and I searched that there shouldn't be anything in the Gemara in all of Shas that would be a stira, contradict what we're writing. And there's some things that I spent many days on one Indian. Until with Hashem's help, I clarified the halacha. And I hope that the one learning this sefer, and here's our words here, and he'll look into the halachas that I wrote. Einav yechazum misharim. He'll see the right. He called mila umila shebesefer v'fnim hasefer. Says Chavetz Chaim, every word that's in the sefer nechtava b'diktuk hadin was written with the exactitude of the din. Every word. Says it's true. There were times when I could have written it shorter or written it in greater so that it perhaps would be easier to understand what I meant. He had another chesh. He didn't want to change the words. He wanted to use the words of the Rishonim and the Poskim that the halacha was based on, and therefore at times he chose to use their words. And who judges me favorably, now, he has a footnote here, but it's also Zayin Tishrei, so we'll leave it for the next day because it takes up a lot of time. After Akdama, it says, I also wrote a lengthy an opening. That's Arucha, I guess, is organized, and Rechova. Shomavar Kamal said Regil Lavar. And there I explain how many los essays and how many essays is it common that a person transgresses at the same time? Someone who's not careful, who speaks Lashon freely, he will regularly transgress many more lavin and many more essays, and the Chavetz Chaim goes through each one. Okay, okay. This is on the purpose of that, is that perhaps Hashem will grant us through seeing how severe this Avera is, and it's not just one, it's so many, Yetzer will be attacked. That a person, when he sees what's resulting from his words, so like it'll empower him to be able to attack the Yetzer Hara. Gam levad zeh, this is further. Besides, it's Humashahuva Medrash Rabbah Pashas Nosai. V'zel Lashon. It says in the Medrash Rabbah, if you toil a lot in their words, in the words of the halacha, of the Sfarim, there's an inherent, you're empowered, there's an inherent power. When you're challenged by the Yetzer Hara and a certain Avera, the fact that you sit and you learn the words of Chazal, you learn the Gemaras, you learn the Midrashim, you learn the Shulchan Aruch. By learning the halacha, says the Midrash, it removes the Yetzer Hara. Therefore, I said to myself, perhaps just by them learning this Sefer, that it's a collection of all the words of the Rishon Binyan Zeh, think about it, already the Yetzer Hara will be weakened. And then it will follow, when you start minimizing, you start doing a little bit less, with time, you'll totally, with time, stop doing this Avera. Because when it comes to this Avera, Hergel is a very big thing. Rote, being accustomed. And it works both ways. When if you're not careful, so you speak it freely, it's a hergel. You don't think too much about what you're saying. On the other hand, when someone starts working and being aware and learning the halachas, slowly but surely, the hergel is the other way, not to speak freely and to think before you speak. All the time, one who comes to try to be tohar. So mishamayim, you get an assist. It was there. And in the middle of this, okay, and tomorrow we'll do the footnote on this hakdama, on this day. Let's now go to, Shmiras haLashon. Also, we're up to Vav Tishrei, right? That's what we did here. It will start here, unlike what I told you before. It's also not far from the end of the hakdama. It's a little further. By I will say for it's 2.5 pages. Oida Marti Lahatik Po, if you could find that, Victor. Here I see Shemati B'Shem Goyin Echad. So before that, like a page before that, starts with the words Oido Marti Lahatik Po. Have it? Any luck? Oido Marti, then there's a Unuvar Dvareno Hetev. You want to screenshot him? It's only one page now. Oido Marti Lahatik Po.
I sent him a screenshot.
Okay. Listen, you're going to have to go and spend. They have a small volume. It's not a lot of money. Mechulak Masuda Lefi Halimud Hayomi. Oida Marti Lahatik Po Bakdoma. This is another thing that I said I decided to copy here in the Akdama. Masha Be'atis Maimar Chazal Ba'ovis Reb Nosson. How I explained the statement of Chazal in Ovis Rabbi Nosson Perek Kav Zayin Mishnah Gimel. Today Shaydei Zeh, in order that based on this, Yuchal Kaldim Lahotchevus Yitzroy. Mashitin Allah Binyan Azeh, that you'll have a response to Yetzer Hara when he comes against you and he argues. V'zel Lashon. Says the Pikid Rabbi Nosson. Hu hayoimer. Pikid Rabbi Nosson is like a parallel to Pikid Avos. Hu hayoimer atachik atzvum lemidah she'en lo kitzvah. Don't distance yourself from something that doesn't have a set amount. Umemalocha she'en lo gemira. or from work that doesn't have an end, chulu, etc. Dinar zohav v'chulu. Now he doesn't quote the whole thing, but let's see how he explains. V'amati the chavonas ha'ovis from nosim b'shem midah. What does it mean when he says al tarchik atzmacha midah she'ein lo kitzvah? What does it mean when he says a midah? Hainu l'inyonenu. As far as our discussion, we know shemafate yetzer l'odom l'srach u'midah shmiras haLashon. You know that Yetzirah convinces a person to distance himself from Shmiras haLashon, from being careful, and not to learn these halachas. How does he do that? He says, what benefit will you have? If you'll learn, delve into these halachas, and will you be able to conquer it? Will you be able to reach the end? Will you be able to really be successful? And guard your mouth your whole life. Way too big. It's impossible. It'd be good if you managed for a day or two. But he says, and even in that small time, says the Yitzhak to you, even in a day or two, could you really be careful to keep everything of Shmiras haLashon? You're in business. You're a businessman. You deal with hundreds of people. So therefore, says the Yitzhak Horah to you, it's impossible. Right? That's what he says in particularly the Rav Nosson. Don't distance yourself from taking upon you something that seems to have no end to it. Because that's the Yitzhak Horah's argument. You can't conquer this. It's way too big. Quantitative quality, it's way too big. So therefore, shuvlacha. So go back. So don't even start. It doesn't have any end to it, not time-wise, not in the Indian, because it includes all times. As long as the person's here, and it encompasses all of Ben Adam Chaveri. Thereby, Tana Rabbi Yochanan ben Dahavoy was Rabbi Yochanan ben Dahavoy b'Haralanu B'Dvar V'Ksarim. He taught us in his short words, it's not right. Don't listen to the Yitzhak Horah. Okay, and tomorrow he's going to expound more on this concept. What's the argument to the Yitzhak Horah that Rabbi Yochanan ben Dahavoy is teaching us here? All right?